Title. Wife demanded her freedom. I gave it to her, and she couldn't handle it. She stood there, calm as ever, her arms folded like she was the victim. Her eyes didn't flinch when she said it. You made me cheat. You couldn't please me. For a second, I thought I'd misheard. The words echoed in my head, each syllable sharper than the last. I laughed a small, broken sound. I made you cheat? I repeated, but she didn't answer. She just looked at me like I was a problem she'd finally solved. Her name was Rachel. We'd been married for 6 years, 6 years of shared dreams, quiet dinners, long nights working to build something stable. I wasn't perfect, but I thought I was loyal, dependable. Turns out she didn't want dependable, she wanted excitement. A month before that day, I started noticing the changes. The way she guarded her phone like it was a weapon, how she suddenly had late shifts that no one at her office could confirm. And when I'd ask, she'd snap, "You're paranoid, Nathan. Stop suffocating me." But that night, everything came to light. I found the messages, hidden in a folder named Work Notes. Her so-called colleague wasn't a colleague. He was Evan, a trainer from her gym. Their texts weren't just emotional. They were detailed, intimate, filled with words that cut deep into my pride. When I confronted her, I expected tears, guilt, or at least a shred of remorse. But Rachel didn't flinch. She sat on the couch, crossed her legs and said, "You don't touch me like he does. You don't see me." I felt something break inside me. Not just anger, but humiliation. I had spent months wondering why she avoided me, why every touch felt forced. I thought maybe she was tired, maybe work was draining her. But no, she had already replaced me emotionally long before she did physically. I asked her quietly how long. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Does it matter? You stopped making me feel desired." In that moment, I realized it wasn't about me at all. It was about her hunger, for attention, for validation, for the thrill of being wanted by someone new. And I knew that no amount of effort could satisfy that kind of emptiness. Still, a part of me wanted to understand why she'd burn everything we'd built just to feel something temporary. But the more she talked, the clearer it became. She didn't regret cheating. She regretted being caught. For the next few days, the silence in our house was suffocating. She walked around like a stranger, humming to herself, scrolling through her phone, pretending nothing had happened. I slept on the couch, staring at the ceiling every night, wondering how I became invisible in my own home. On the 4th night, she came into the living room, wearing one of my shirts, the one she used to steal because it smelled like comfort. Now it just looked wrong on her. She sat across from me and said softly, "You can hate me if you want, but I was lonely. You stopped being interested. You made me feel unwanted." Her words felt rehearsed, like a script she'd told herself enough times to start believing it. I looked at her. The same woman I once couldn't imagine living without, and all I could think was how unfamiliar she felt now. "You were lonely?" I asked. "So your solution was to destroy us?" She sighed. "You don't get it, Nathan. He made me feel alive again. He noticed me." There it was again. The man who apparently held the cure for all her dissatisfaction. I wanted to yell, to throw something, to make her see the wreckage she'd caused. But instead, I just asked, "And what did he notice, Rachel? The parts of you I built? The woman who only existed because we went through hell together?" Her face tightened. "You're just trying to make me feel guilty." I stood up. "No. I'm trying to make you realize that I wasn't the problem. You were chasing a version of yourself you lost years ago." For a moment, she looked shaken. But then she smirked, the kind of cruel, defensive smile people wear when they've already decided not to feel. "Maybe," she said, "but at least I was honest about what I wanted." Honest. The word stung. I almost laughed again. She'd been lying to me for months, smiling at breakfast, holding my hand in public, saying, "I love you" before bed. Now she was calling it honesty. Later that night, I heard her crying in the bathroom. Not the broken sobs of regret, but the quiet tears of someone mourning the loss of her illusion. I didn't go to her. I just sat there, staring at the dark window, realizing that something inside me had finally shut off. I wasn't angry anymore, just empty. And in that emptiness, I decided something. I wouldn't try to fix this. Not this time. The next morning, Rachel left early for work without saying a word. Her coffee cup was still half full on the counter. Lipstick on the rim, a small, cruel reminder that she could walk out so easily while I was still standing in the wreckage. But fate has a strange sense of timing. Around noon, I got a call from a friend of mine, Evan, who worked in the same corporate circle as her lover, Daniel. "Hey Nate," he said cautiously. "You might want to sit down for this." I braced myself. "What is it?" He hesitated. "Daniel got fired this morning." I blinked. "Fired? Why?" Evan sighed. "Apparently, there was an internal complaint. Something about inappropriate conduct. Word is Rachel's name came up." For a moment, I didn't react. Then the absurdity of it hit me. The man who understood her better than me was now unemployed because of her. The irony was sharp enough to make me laugh, but it wasn't a joyful laugh. It was the kind that comes from realizing how far gone everything truly is. That evening, Rachel came home looking pale and shaken. She didn't say anything at first. She just stood by the door, holding her bag tightly, her breathing uneven. I didn't move. I didn't ask. Finally, she said in a cracked voice, "He's gone." I just nodded. "Yeah, I heard." She looked at me, eyes wide, trembling. "They fired him because of me. Someone found out. There were emails, messages. HR called it misconduct. He's ruined." I didn't gloat. I didn't smirk. But she saw something in my expression, calm, maybe even relief, and it broke her composure completely. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" she snapped through tears. "You think this is justice?" I shook my head. "No, Rachel. This isn't justice. It's consequence." She stepped closer, desperate. "I made a mistake. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just wanted to feel something again." I looked at her, the woman who'd once promised to grow old with me, and all I saw was a stranger clinging to the ruins of her own choices. "You wanted to feel something," I said quietly. "And now you do. Regret." Her tears fell harder, but I didn't move to comfort her. I couldn't. Some wounds aren't meant to be healed. They're meant to remind you what betrayal costs.